Now, it's not often that the royal family weighs into Australian politics, but that's what happened this week when the future King of Australia, Prince Charles, was shocked to learn that the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison was not planning to attend the Global Climate Summit in Glasgow. Prince Charles then urged Morrison to attend, warning that if the world did not take decisions now, it would be almost impossible to catch up. The PM has previously indicated that he would likely attend COP26 in Glasgow. He then suggested that he would not be going. And now it appears that he's going to backflip again and will indeed go. In fact, this afternoon, he has finally, after I've lost track of how many backflips he's had on this matter, he has agreed he will go.
The government will be finalising its position for me to take to that summit prior to my departure over the next fortnight. We are working through those issues with our cabinet and with our colleagues. And the plan that I'm taking forward, together with my colleagues, is about ensuring that our regions are strong, that our regions' jobs are not only protected, but they have opportunities for the future. It's not just about hitting net zero. That's an important environmental goal. But what's important is Australia's economy goes from strength to strength.
It's a pretty embarrassing state of affairs when the future King of Australia has to shame our Prime Minister into attending a global conference on climate change. Of course, the real power to decide whether Scott Morrison goes to Glasgow rests not with Prince Charles, but with the National Party and Barnaby Joyce. As it now seems apparent, the Nationals will decide to support net zero by 2050 when they meet this Sunday to thrash out their policy position. That will come in return for a whole lot of pork getting thrown at them by the Morrison government. Now, opposition leader Anthony Albanese said earlier this week that it's pretty sad the Prime Minister has had to behave in this way. Here he is.
I would go to Glasgow like other world leaders. It's extraordinary that we have an Australian Prime Minister who's not sure whether he wants to go to the G20 discussing the future of our economy, connected as we are as part of the global economy as we come out of the pandemic. It's extraordinary that we have an Australian Prime Minister who doesn't seem to understand that climate change isn't just about our environmental future.
The Business Council of Australia is calling for a much higher short-term target as well as net zero by 2050. The National Farmers Federation is calling for net zero. News Corp, the owners of Sky News, are calling for it. The banks and everyone are calling for action, except for Scott Morrison. When it comes to this policy, he has to wait for permission from the Nationals. Well, as I said, this weekend we will find out. The Nationals meet on Sunday. They'll decide their policy position. We know which way it's going to fall. They'll accept net zero in return for a whole bunch of pork barrelling. And then the coalition parties will meet next Tuesday and they will together sign on to this policy. It really should not be that hard. This is not the way that Australia should be governed. The Prime Minister should be leading, not following, not on an issue as important as this.